Hello, welcome to episode 4 of Galen's Got Parkinson's. Introduction by Rollo. Rollo, come on, come say hello. Where are you? Come on, come say hello. That's it. The people all see you. Yes, okay. Good boy. There's all sorts of things flying off because he's wagging his tail because he's pleased to see you. Are you, sweetheart? Be careful. That's a good boy. That's it. You standing all them. Wow, that was exciting, wasn't it? I haven't bothered with the silly bit of paper things. He thinks he should be being privately interviewed. I have bought a webcam. I was looking for it. That's why I went like that. And I thought, I get a webcam. I got the cheapest one I could find. It was £29 on Amazon. And I plugged it in and things all popped up. And it looked, the picture eventually looked great. But there was no sound and it wasn't making a video. Rollo is so sad. Can you hear how sad he is? Because he thinks I should have bought him a rubber bone with the same amount of money. But I didn't. Anyway, one day it won't be in this slim format, slim volume. I don't understand anything about life. So, anyway, what is that? So before I start, I just want to say that towards the end of April, and I'm going to say April 22nd, which might be completely wrong, is Parkinson's Awareness Day. So I'll talk about that a little bit more later on. I've got some t-shirts coming and I've got some wristbands that I'm going to give out at a gig. I'm hoping the band might be able to play round about that weekend. So I'll talk a little bit more about Parkinson's Awareness Day. What I will say is the colour that's been chosen to represent it is silver, and they're encouraging people to wear grey, and the flower that's been chosen, like the poppy for Remembrance Day, is going to be a tulip. So you should start to see a little bit more popping up about that, and I'll put some things on here about it as well. I've got an appointment soon as well to see the Parkinson's nurse, so that'd be interesting. I could tell you about that as well. I'm going to just move the camera a bit because I've got more ceiling than me. It's weird, isn't it, life? How's that looking? Oh, now it's going to fall. Oh, no. Oh, I've had a picture of a thumb. Now it's all gone black. Now the light's gone. Now the light's come back. I find life can be very complicated and disconcerting for absolutely no reason whatsoever. I'm going to talk today about creating characters. I'm specifically going to talk about creating characters for a historical war game that I've started to play. I'm distracted somewhat because Rollo is down here chasing his own tail round and round. You might have just seen a quick flash of tail, but for some reason he's spinning round and round, and I don't understand him. He had a nice game with a beagle today when we were in the park, or whether that's got him excited, I don't know. I create characters when I'm writing stories. I like to create maps, sometimes for games, sometimes just for fun. And I also find as a hint for Parkinson's, sometimes at night I can't sleep. I've got a lot on my mind, or I get a bit. No, I'm not saying that. I was going to say down. I'm not saying that. I find it hard to sleep. What I do is imagine myself in these fantasy worlds. Some are in space, some are historical, some are fantasy. And you can get on your horse as a questing knight and you can ride around the kingdom just having a look at things. So anyway, I'm really interested in the Dark Ages. So I found a game called it's called, I'm not going to show you because it'll be back to front, Dux Britanniarum, and it's by two fat laddies, It's a great book. I've just got the main book, and with that you get a map and you get a set of cards. And now I've just bought the extension book, which is Scots, Picts, Irish, and you get some slightly different cards. And I don't know about the first book. The second book was just under £17. But one of the things you do in it, you create a character. And sometimes you need to create characters right from nothing. But I don't in this. I'm going to tell you what I did to circumvent the system. This isn't what the book says. This is what I did. So I like the Dark Ages, the sort of Romano-British Arthurian legend. And I have a book called 500 AD, which imagines you're a tourist travelling back in time. And all the things to do is that a Saxon that's coming towards me. And things like that. What you should do if you meet a Pict. What the roads might be like in Devon. So all manner of interesting bits. So I thought, right, I'm going to be Arthurian, and I'm going to be King Arthur. So first question then is, on the map, where are you going to put Camelot? Tintagel? Who knows? Glastonbury? Could be anywhere. It's made up. It's pretend. Now, reading this 500 AD book, they were saying that a lot of Celts knew there was a place called Elmet, but they didn't know where it was. And some would even think it was mythical. It was so mysterious. And I thought, oh, that sounds good. I like that, Elmet. Where that is. And I looked it up, and it's West Yorkshire, where I was born. I didn't even know it's called Elmet. Thicko. So, right, I'm going to do that. And all around Doncaster at that time, there was a Roman fort in Doncaster, Danum, and a road that went up, lots of little forts all along the way. And, but it was marshy. A lot of it wasn't drained until the 17th century by a chap who drained a lot of Holland, and he tootled over and he drained it for us, which was nice of him. So I even know his name because they taught it to us in primary school, and it stuck for some reason. I think he was called Cornelius Vermuyden, but anyway, whatever. So it just reminded me of Arnie Sacknewson in Journey to the Centre of the Earth, and I don't know why that happened either. So it's all boggy around Doncaster. There's a place called Pottery Car, which has been preserved, and it's a bit sort of like dinosaurs might wander out any minute. When my son-in-law found me an Ordnance Survey map of Roman Britain, and that's great. I thought, fantastic, look at that. I've got all the Roman sites on, so I know the world that Arthur and his knights would live in. And then looking at the start of our game's going to be around about 500 AD. I can't tell you yet because we've not done it, and I want to do it on here so you can see how it works. But it's going to be at least 500 AD or a bit later. So I thought, well, that goes a bit beyond Romans. And then I found on eBay an Ordnance Survey map, the same scale, but it was Britain, and it was right from prehistory right through to 1066. And it's got different colours. So the 500 AD things are a different colour to the ones that came before. The ones that came before would still be there, wouldn't they, like Stonehenge? But the ones that came after wouldn't. So that was good. And then I thought, well, okay, where am I going to be? Now, on the game, the Dux Britanniarum game, you get a map. Well, I'm going to quickly wave it at you so you can't read it back to front. That's it. And you fight for provinces. Everybody has a province. And I couldn't be Arthur because you're not Arthur. You start off as just commanding a little band. So I thought, oh, right, okay. So I'm going to put Doncaster, Danum, as Camelot. And then I'm going to have my knight. And I don't want it to be Lancelot or somebody big and important. So who will it be? And I thought, well, I quite like Sir Bors as a name. And I liked him in the film that Ray Winston plays, the one with it, Keira Knightley plays Guinevere. So I started at that point. I didn't dice for it. And I looked down the map and I found a little tiny province on the game map And when I worked out where it was on the Ordnance Survey map, there's a place called Burg Wallis. Now, I know Burg Wallis. I used to camp there as a boy, as a scout. There's a scout campsite there. Well, there used to be in the 70s and 60s, called Squirrel Wood. So I thought, oh, I know Burg Wallis. And nearby, there's a little town called Adwickler Street. And on the Roman map, there's a little mini fort there. So I thought, oh, that could be my man. That could be Bors's Hall. Wouldn't be called Burg Wallis. That sounds Saxon, doesn't it? So perhaps it's called Bors's Hall. And he builds it on the site of the Roman fort. So that's where I've got up to for now. So in the next episode, I'm going to tell you how I did the background and what you should have done doing the background that I didn't do. So that 10 minutes for me absolutely flew by, and I'm going to leave you there and say thank you for watching. God bless. Bye-bye.